Welcome to the D&D world.
Hey nerd, what's going on? My name is Alekazam, and I am back with more DnDecember. Now, I am currently in the works of changing a few things around, so you might have noticed, I probably mentioned it in the video itself, but I was going to play Icewind Dale, but I tried to make a video out of it, and it was really just like, no. I don't want to deal with that. I mean, older games, it's harder to play, it's harder to get things going. It just wasn't, I watched it, it wasn't interesting, so I do apologize about that. But moving along, I want to have a new topic today in which we're going to talk about my favorite quest that I've ever been on in any D&D game, or that I've ever given. I like to GM a lot now too, so I'm going to do like a little column A, a little column B. So I want to start off, I'll start with the easy one. My favorite quest I've ever given to anyone was, so I created this town that their main export was potions. They really enjoyed potions. And as such, I had given people a quest, so to speak. Really what they wanted to do is they wanted to earn money. They wanted to find a way to get some potions because they had no more money left. They spent it all on all kinds of crazy stuff and shenanigans. It doesn't matter. So I had to come up with something quick to help them make money so that our thief wouldn't just go, "Bug it, I'm stealing everything." So what I did was I gave them the quest, or, well, again, quest, to be a potion taste tester. They had to drink the potion that was put in front of them, and they had an option. They could ask what it was and what it was supposed to do, and they would be paid, I forget, I think I was pretty generous about it. I was like, they'd be paid 10 gold if that happened, but if they didn't, they'd get paid 100 gold. So it was like basically a blind taste test if you wanted it to be, and if you did that, you would get a ton of money. Which they needed. They needed it desperately because they had no resources left. They'd just been totally drained by a big fight with some like displacer beasts and things like that, and they really needed to get healed up. They really needed money. They really needed a lot of stuff. So they did that. And the way I had it work out was I had them roll percentage dice. And it took me like a half an hour, but I came up with 100 different effects for these potions. And they varied from like the ones that are in the books, like, okay, healing, damage, whatever. So there was a chance they could die, but that also included things like explosion, like explosive potions, poisons. I had some that were just like food seasoning extract, and it was like, yeah, you got some vanilla extract there, you get super sick and vomit kind of thing if you don't pass your con save. It's just silly things like that, and I guess it's not really a quest, it's not really fair to say that, but my god, every player loved it. I loved it. It was a ton of fun, and it took me like 20 minutes to come up with, and like, you know, it only worked so well because we had these established characters, because we had these people willing to do it. And that's the thing. You know, they could have easily said, no, we don't want to do that. Go red up a fight for us to do, and we'll go bounty hunt something or whatever. Or like, I'm going to go try to gamble for money. And that's okay. You know, that's fine, I guess. But to me, it's better that they said, no. We're going to let you have a little fun. Yeah, we're going to go on that quest that you came up with where we basically have a part-time job as like a medical tester. It was so stupid fun. That being said, I think the favorite quest that I've ever been on, that one would have to be, there was a time a bard had asked us to retrieve a special instrument. It's a magical instrument that helped him play better, and he was useless without it. We agreed to do this. In exchange, he would, I forget what he had to do. I want to say I want to say the idea was we gave him some crazy thing that was going to be the, oh yeah, in exchange you're going to give us all this money, or you're going to give us 10% of your profits for the rest of your life, or some bullshit. Like, we BS it or whatever, something he agreed to. But in reality, we were just going to go steal his magic instrument and give it to our bard, who desperately needed literally anything. So what ends up happening was, and from what I understand, years later, I think they did this in Skyrim. It was basically like The Hangover. We had to retrace all of his steps from his crazy drunken night. We had to fight off a hag that he slept with. It was like pretty much verbatim what they did in Skyrim. But this was years before. This was like, I was like 17. So this was a long time ago. Maybe Skyrim was like the glint in someone's eye before it was, new at E3 for the 15th year running. So it was just super fun. Just having like going through all this stuff. We had to, like I said, we had to backtrace. We had the crazy hag we had to fight. There was a bar full of like it's essentially like a biker gang, but they were like a horse gang. They did like illegal jousting in the street, so we had to do a joust. That was cool. There was one guy who had like a bunch of different like gambling games, and they weren't like regular ones. He made up gambling games. His DM went really far into his own lore, and they were all stuff that, as far as I know, he made up. He's a really creative guy. He was super cool. And the crazy thing too, technically this wasn't D&D we were playing. This was a game that I played on my lunch break in high school, that this dude just made up. Made this shit up. It was incredible. Totally new world lore, totally new rule set. Everything was done on his calculator. Like, it's just really cool. Really thoroughly enjoyed that game and my character in that. It was really fun because he gave me a character that like basically was like a cat humanoid person, which fine, whatever. I did it for the buffs. It got like double its armor class, and if it was unarmed, it got to do all this extra damage. And because he saw that I tried so hard to like make it work and work with the mechanics of the game, he rewarded me like way unfair compared to what all these other kids had. I felt so bad as an adult. Like, I felt bad because he clearly favored what I was doing. He invented these weapons, and there were gauntlets that my cat character could wear, and he would put them on, and I could use different settings on them. So I could have an explosive setting, a shock setting, a flame setting, a ice setting. It was like really broken, and just the stuff I could do with it was absurd. But it didn't really matter because it wasn't so much. There wasn't that much combat. I don't remember combat. I just remember being like, okay, I'm gonna play this game now, and we're gonna do different things, and following that guy's steps, and just, it was really cool. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Eventually, we won I want to say it was a lute. Might have been like a ukulele. It was a string instrument. Eventually, we won it back, and our bard was a happy boy. We kept it, I think. Either that or it was garbage, and we gave it back to him and took whatever we offered. Man, it's been too long. I'm old. Oh man, I'm so friggin' old. But yeah, those are my favorite quests that I've ever been given / granted to people. I guess my question for you guys would be, if you play D&D, what's your favorite quest you've ever been on? Or if you just DM all the time because God knows no one wants to do it, what's your favorite one you've ever had to come up with? Be creative about it too. If you don't play D&D, what's something that you think would be interesting to do in D&D? What quest do you think would be super fucking fun, and that's what you want to do, and that's what you want to see? And if you had a DM, man, that would be great, because I am dead curious about that. It would also help me because it could give me some really cool ideas for the future. So yeah, leave that in the comments down below. As always, I appreciate your time, and happy DnDecember, everybody. Let's keep this train rolling.